how to improve your aim in Valorant. In this video, I'm going to be going through all the tips and tricks in learning how to aim train. I'm going to be going through all the different routines I like to run, so it'll help with multiple different things like long range gunfights, short range gunfights, strafing gunfights, pistol rounds, and all those different things. So let's get into this. So first thing you want to look at is your sensitivity. You don't want too high of a sensitivity. I used to rock 1600.8, and my friends were like, dude, you're so shaky, bro. You need to lower your sense. You need to lower your sense. And I'm like, dude, I don't want to, because if I've been using this sense for 8 months. If I lower my sense, I'm gonna suck, and it's gonna be so hard to get used to a new sense. It only took me like 3 to 5 days to get used to the new sense, and after I've gotten to that sense and been aim training on that sense, I've seen my aim improve so much. It's just been crazy. So I would suggest if you're rocking anything too high, you should lower it. And I would say anything too high is probably anywhere above like 800.5 DPI, and you can do the calculations if you want to get specific with it. But the range in between like 800.3 and 800.5 is where the pros like to stick, and anywhere above that radius is too high. And if you want to go lower, you can. That's completely fine. That's up to you. Depends on your mousepad space and your preference. Sensitivity is preference to an extent, but your micro adjustments will be near impossible to hit consistently if you're playing on an insanely high sensitivity, because how slight you need to move your mouse to move, you literally can't do those micro adjustments well. Alright, so let's get into the aim training routines that I like to run. So you click F3 to check all the shooting range, different ways you can do your training here. So what I would do is put bots, make sure the bots are not strafing, and you can make sure the armor is on. But for a future tutorial, I'm going to make sure they're off for now. Alright, so what you want to do is back all the way up here, and this is where you practice long range gunfights or being precise. So this makes the target's heads a lot smaller, so you can practice more precise or just long range gunfights. So this emulates aim labs in a way where it's like 6-shot or micro shot, which are like the two most important things to practice. It helps your accuracy become more pinpoint. So you can just sit back here, and if you want to do one taps, you can go for one taps, but it's not realistic in a game. You're just going to be tap firing. So I would just sit back here and do your burst fires and practice burst firing at these bots. So you can do this with the Vandal or the Phantom and just practice your shots, and this will help you become more pinpoint accurate at longer range and just more accurate in general. It helps you with your micro adjustments, the small little adjustments at long range to hit these headshots. And you can also do this while the bots are strafing to make it even more challenging, to emulate more of how it actually would go down in a real game. Now, the next thing I like to run is this same activity, but with strafing bots, and this is why I turn the armor off. This is a phenomenal way to practice your pistol rounds. So these bots are moving almost exactly how people would move on a pistol round. Is you counter strafe. You don't have to do it in any sort of way. You just counter strafe and practice your headshots, because this is similar to how bots like to, or how players move in a normal pistol round. They move left to right while shooting you. Sometimes they'll run at you, but bro, that's probably lower elo. But the counter strafing is so you can practice these pistol rounds. And after doing this warm up before I hop in a game, I've noticed my pistol rounds are pretty on point. This is just something good to practice in general, because you're not supposed to be like, this person's really good at pistol rounds. This is just one of the main ways to improve your pistol rounds. You can also practice this with the classic, of course, but obviously you have to hit the head twice to do this. So this helps you practice. So you can just go for the headshot and then do the burst, whatever you want to practice. This is a great way to practice your pistol rounds. The next activity I will be showcasing you guys is flicking. Flicking is something that is super important to learn, but it's not the most important thing to learn. So if your aim is not that good, you can't control recoil that well, I would not move on to just learning flick shots. But once you have a couple of the other things mastered, this is something later down the line that you want to perfect. Okay, so there's something when it comes to flicking that you guys want to learn. So you see how my crosshair is right here at this dot. You want to be able to get this flick range as long as you can. So let's say you can flick accurately between this dot and this dot. Almost every time you can hit a flick in between this range and this range. By doing this mode, it'll help you be able to increase your flick range to be more accurate from here to here, which in a comp game, it could save your life or even help you get a kill. And especially on a map like Icebox, you have to be able to flick, because you can get peeked from like 3 angles at once that are all in like a region that you need to flick to get the shot. So to do this, you go to speed and you put on hard. This one helps you practice your flicks faster, but you can really start on any of these modes. I usually like to rock hard. So this helps you practice your flicking and your reaction time. Obviously, I'm going to miss a few of these, and I don't get that high of a score on this mode, but I'm on a newer sensitivity because I recently lowered my sense and got a new mouse. So this is one of the main activities I've been practicing to hit flicks. And I posted on TikTok a couple of the nasty flicks I've been hitting recently on this new sense because I've been practicing this mode. I'm not saying put all your time into this mode, but this is how you work on your flicks and your reaction time. The next activity I would suggest for working on your aim is eliminating 50 bots, or you can do 100, and then you can put it on strafe. This is also a great way to warm up. But obviously, I need to aim train because I can't hit the start button. But so this is very nice because it helps you practice your aim and your movement. So like fighting multiple guys at once, so they're pushing you, flicking between these targets like such. And make sure you work on keeping your crosshair at that mid-level the whole time. And guys, learning how to aim and getting better at aiming is not going to come fast. There's a lot that comes with it. And if you're in this video and you're like, dude, Cam, I'm new to the game and I can't control my recoil. This is what you do. There's a lot of people who can't control their recoil, and this is the perfect place to come to control your recoil. So you can move this out 10 meters and you can practice shooting at this bot and trying to control your recoil. So a great thing to do is you can push this out. Let's do 20 for this example. You push this out 20 and then you try to keep your crosshair in this circle for the first like 6 shots. When it comes to Valorant, you don't want to be spraying. You want to be focusing on bursts that are around like 3 to about 7. You don't want to be shooting more than that, especially with the Vandal, because then the spray becomes hard to control. You should not commit to a spray unless you have to and people are lining up. So what you want to do is shoot bursts into this circle, and you want to try to get them as tight as you can. And make sure you're pulling down. I see so many players, instead of pulling down, they'll do this. Instead of pulling down, they crouch to help you control the recoil. Do not crouch to control your recoil. Diamond and Immortal players are always aiming at head level. So if you fight them and crouch, they will miss shots. When I play like on my Smurf account, right now it's about gold. I'm trying to rank it up into Immortal. And every time an enemy crouches, I miss the shot because my aimer is going to be at their head. So when they crouch, I miss shots. But if you're anywhere lower than plat, do not crouch. Do not crouch because people's crosshair is not aimed at your head. They might hit headshots on you, but you crouching might be you crouching into a headshot at lower elo. So that is a no-go. But back to controlling your recoil, just sit here and practice getting your like 5 to 7 bullet spray at a good number. And you can even practice shooting this bot to be like, hey, would I kill this person with my spray? Right? And you want to get that spray consistent. You don't want to start aiming down too fast, and you don't want to pull down too slow, because otherwise you're gonna miss shots. It'll either go to their head or too low in their chest. So the first like 3 shots are usually pretty good, and then you want to start pulling down. This is just from my experience. All right, so that's a great way if you're new to the game to practice recoil control. How to warm up. So if you are trying to warm up for your CaMbCaMb, do not go into a CaMbCaMb dry, bro. You're going to suck. When you boot up your PC, you're on to hop into Valorant CaMbCaMb, you want to come over to the range and you want to do a few things to warm up. You can do any of the activities I've showcased before this. All of them will be good for warming up. You don't need to do all of them. You don't need to sit in the range for 30 minutes. I'd say 15 to 20 minutes is really all you need for a really good warm up. And all you want to do is like practice moving your mouse across your mouse pad. That's literally it. Is when you hop on, you just want to get back into the groove of that muscle memory you've already created for yourself, and you want to just hop in and just start shooting bots. It's a great way to make sure you're ready for your CaMbCaMb, because there's so many people who hop in dry. Like, sure, you can hop in dry and be good, but you want to just get your mouse moving across your mouse pad. And shout out to Xset Weeded. He's the one who, I asked him in his stream, I'm like, what's the best way to warm up? And that's what he said. He said, just hop in the range for a short amount of time, get your crosshair moving, get your mouse moving, and that's it. Because aim training is a different session than warming up. Warming up, all you need to do is get your mouse moving, get used to your sensitivity, get back into that muscle memory really quick, and then you're just going to be ready to go for that CaMbCaMb. Don't over warm up, and make sure you do warm up. Do not be warming up for 30 minutes, bro. Just warm up for 20 minutes, and you'll be chilling. But if you're going to go into like a scrim or something, make sure that warm up is like remotely close to when you're about to queue that game. So you don't warm up for 20 minutes, wait 45, and then queue into a game. You know what I'm saying? So that is about everything I have for how to improve your aim in Valorant. Stuff like aim training in the range is how I went from Diamond 1 to Immortal. That's how I made that big push that I made recently, because before I would just play the game a lot and not do a lot of aim training. But aim training is how I ironed a lot of things out, like micro adjustments, flicking my crosshair, recoil control, making sure you're bursting and not spraying. Don't commit to a spray, and don't crouch unless you use that to dodge headshots, because when you crouch, your movement is slowed. So thank you guys for watching. I stream every day at twitch.tv/CaMbCaMb from about 11 a.m. to about 5 p.m. and I would like to see you guys there. I stream there every day, so if you have any questions about how I warm up or any questions about this video, that's a great place to ask. I appreciate you guys. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.